Hello, my name's Stephanie Toman and I'm here to talk to you about the International Computer Driving Licence qualifications that we do at Coventry University. I'm sure you've heard about ICDL, if not ECDL, which was the previous name, the E standing for European. So I'm going to take you through an overview of what we do if you're considering taking some qualifications with us. So you may or may not know that it is a global standard now, so it's going across Europe and globally further than that, China, Egypt, lots of different places across the world. We've always had it in Britain under the BCS award for quite some time now, and it's about digital skills, and it gives you a digital skills standard. So it's a benchmark really for employers to know that you know what you're doing with regard to a good grounding in IT across the Microsoft applications. And it's a tick box exercise for some employers, which is fine. So we need to tick it when we go for an interview to say that yes, we are competent in digital skills. Here it's got lots of stuff about what employers want. But the thing is that we have been doing this for quite some time now at Coventry University, and this is the 18th year that we've been going into, so we're quite experienced at delivering these qualifications. What do we deliver at Coventry University? We deliver the following: ICDL Foundation, which is the 7-unit module. That will be the one that will give you a good foundation across all of the applications, and it talks about IT security, how to say things correctly, how to use control features and things like that, as well as just using the usual Word, Excel, etc. There's also an ICDL Extra, which is 4 modules, and so you take 3 modules, and then you actually do a knowledge and a performance exam to show that you've learned about that one of those particular modules. We do advanced presentation, word processing, and spreadsheets, and these are all available virtually. So in other words, you can enroll onto them, you can do your video-based learning from YouTube, and you will also then receive all the materials, all of the practice areas that you need in order to make sure that you assimilate that information and you can actually do it. And that's all before you take an online test that's provided by BCS, it's approved, and then you take the actual certification test with us. If you're interested in databases, advanced databases, that will be coming soon. So the course information, you can see this link here. I'm just going to show you this. So if we just bring it in. So this is where you'll be taken to. So you go into that website link, and then if you come down, you can see that there's an email to send to me directly with regard to the virtual courses. So the reason for this is that if you are going to take these tests virtually, then we need to make sure that your device can run them. So it doesn't take long, 10-15 minutes on a Teams meeting that we can arrange, and then we can check that it runs everything properly before any payments are made or any moving forward. So it's really important that we get that sorted out before you even go any further. One thing to be really aware of is that we don't have the tests. We don't have the tests in the MacBook, or you can't use a Chromebook either. Only a Windows system OS would do the tests. So please be aware of that. So if you've got a MacBook, and you can do the learning on it, of course, but then you may have to borrow or access a Windows device, PC or laptop, in order to do the mock test, the diagnostic test, which is your pre-test, and the test itself. So here you can see you've got the different links to go into the different modules. So it depends on what it is you want. We've got some testimonials if you want to have a look through, and you can have a look and see how people have experienced things so far. And we're quite proud of our quality and our support. So if you were going to do the accredited foundation, which is very popular, it tells you the modules here along, you can see them. You click on there You can then actually go to apply for the course. So if that's what you want to do, you would go into there, and what you would have to do is you would have to register. So here's all the information again. What with regard to what it is, it talks about virtual remote courses means that everything's done online. So we need to check your requirements on your machine, the system requirements, etc. It's got the cost, and the terms and conditions are at the end. To register, you would go into the register feature here. And the reason that we take quite a lot of information here is that this is the information we will register you with BCS. So BCS is our third party, well protected, your information, your data, but we need to get certain information so that we can make that registration for you. So you complete this and move on, and eventually you would be coming to the area where you can make a payment, world transactions, so you can use a debit card, etc., if that's the way that you want to pay, and at that time as well. So if we go back to our PowerPoint, you can see there some of the things that I've said while we've been looking at that. It's all there in the information, and so that's how you get to enrolling, if you like, on your course. Please stop, as it says in there, and think about making sure that you can run these tests. We will be arranging a Teams meeting with you to make sure that your device does run the test if that's what you need. We can send a video of how you can do that for yourself, but a lot of people like us to help. We're quite happy to do that. Also, when we do that Teams meeting, we need ID. An ID is to make sure that you say you are who you are, and it's a British Computer Society ID check, so it's a necessity. And you can see here you've got examples. All we will be doing is looking at it on screen and recording what type of ID you've given us. We do not take copies of it. We don't have it on file anywhere, so it's quite safe. And there are other ways if you haven't got those means of ID. There's two. You can either do one of the first ones that I showed you here: passport, ID card, full driving license, birth certificate's another one. Or if you can't do that, you can do two of these. So we do need to have that ID when we arrange that Teams meeting. So the Teams meeting, when we get together to look at this, we need to do a desktop version of Teams. So if you're not sure of that, I'll just show you. It's quite easy to download. So hopefully you can see this. You've got the download Teams desktop. It can't work on a web version, so you need to download this app here. And the reason is that when we go into the test, you will have to use a downloaded desktop version in order to do the test. The reason is that a web version will not show a webcam and the desktop at the same time. So it's exactly the same process when we're doing this arranged Teams meeting that you will have when you come to do our tests with us. So our tests will be done through Teams. You will come in through an invite that we will send you for your test, and you will come through on an individual computer into our test centre at Coventry University. Our invigilators will be there waiting for you, and they will help and check your system again at that point, just so that you're not stressed anything happening with the test that's unnecessary. And we will take you into your test and explain everything about how to use the buttons, etc. So you're nice and calm before you start. You'll take your test through this. We will see you on a camera taking the test, and we will actually see you taking the test on the desktop screen. We'll turn our mics and cameras off, but we will be monitoring everybody doing that test. So it is okay to do it this way. It's verified by BCS, and it's just like taking it in the test centre but at home. Okay, so hopefully you'll be happy with doing it that way. Lots of people are. It's really quite useful if you can't get to the test centre. We do testing at the test centre, by the way. If you are local and you want to do that, not a problem at all. So as I showed you earlier about applying for the course, this is the slide that takes you through that. So remember that you just access the ones that you want to do, and you go through the registration process, just to remind you here, and then eventually it will take you to the payments. So you've gone through that part now. you've paid for your registration number, which will be emailed to you directly. You will not need this initially because it's something that you will use to access your diagnostic, your online mock test. That's the practice test that we do. And we also have lots of paper tests to do as well before you get to that stage. So you've got your registration number, you keep it safe, and you'll have a password with it that you can change to your own password when you do log in. You'll receive a link to our YouTube bite-sized videos. So they're all on YouTube, so you can go in there, have a look, and it will show you where we are. Let's have a look and see if we can show you those now. Let's pop it over. So this is what the bite-sized videos look like. So you can see here at the top, we've got the foundation single module. So if I was going to be wanting to look at the IT security, I'd click on the full playlist, and that way I can either dip into particular sort of chunks, if you like, of the module, or I can go from the start to the end and work through them all. So obviously when you go into these bite-sized modules, you can skip through things as well, advanced ones as well, all of the same sort of like idea, all in small chunks, so that you can have a look at that. You'll be emailed a video learning practice materials, and that will look like this. So it'll come through on email from our SharePoint, and just bear with me. So you can see here that it'll come through here, and then you would just open by clicking on there. But be aware that when you open these, that you do need to extract. So you need to right click, extract the information, the folders within it, and then save it to your desktop, because you can't really work from them when they're still in SharePoint with us. You need to have them on your own device so that you can do that. So it says there about please downloading. If we just have a quick look at one of these on the next slide, you'll see how that looks. That's it there. And then you can see how each module, this is an example of you've got an example of module 1 there, and then you've got what goes on within the modules as well. So what you can do is, what we normally do is we work using the resources. They're used for the working with the videos. So you can go along with these. They've all got different resources. I'll just show you one here. I'll show you the commercial foundation one. So this one, just dropping it onto screen now. The Microsoft, the module 1, IT security. If you click in there, you can see there's where you've got a manual. So in the first one, that shows that. Just close that so you can see a little bit better. So you've got a manual in here. If we go back to the main one, you've got resources to use. So these will be things that you can go along with regard to when you're watching the videos. It's quite important for some people to actually do it while they're watching, but others, they want to just watch and then practice to make sure that they've simulated and they've understood how they use those skills. You've got practice tests that then make sure that those skills are there. In here, there's quite a few. We always have a solution for all of these things, so you're never stuck waiting for one of us to maybe get back to you. So you can do it there and then have a look for yourself. Obviously, if you don't get the solution, we're still there. Human beings still, needed at certain times in life, so we'll be there to help you out. And you've got lots of different ones in there, and then you've got the syllabus in each of them that will show you exactly what is needed with regard to picking up these things. So all the areas that you're expected to know and understand with regard to the test. Okay, so that's all on each of the modules that you'll be looking at. And so have a look through when you get your files. Make sure you do download them. Really important, so that they're on your actual desktop or your device, whichever you're using. As it says, how do we study? You watch the videos. You can watch in whatever way you need. So in some cases, if you're watching Word, for example, you might be really okay on a lot of the areas, so you want to skip through. So some of you are gap filling your skills. Some of you have got these skills, quite good skills already. This might make them a bit more efficient. It may put a structure around them if you've been self-taught. So it's sort of a way of either learning from scratch or sort of giving what you already know a structure and a way of showing an employer, if you like, that you have those skills. So either way, you can do these in any way you like. It covers all of those aspects. So use the facilities and things you've got in whichever way you need to use them. So you've got a diagnostic mock test as well as part of the study and getting ready. And we actually do a feedback on that so that you can know, we'll explain how to use it when the time comes. And when you're ready to take your first one, we will go through that with you. And we also have a video that you can follow as well. So when it comes to the actual test, you're ready to do your first test. We test every Wednesday at the moment from 4 o'clock. So we do that. You can drop into any of those tests. We send out a weekly invite just to let you know about what's going on. If you want to do a remote test, you then receive your Teams invite that you come through to us. So each of the modules have a different amounts of tests. As you can see there, the information's there. And they all have a 75% pass rate. Apart from, there's one module in the extra where you have to gain 75% on knowledge and performance. And that's that one where you do the practice exam on one of the modules that you've learned. But other than that, they're all 75% and above. And they're 45 minutes apart from that M8, and the advanced are also 1 hour. So it doesn't sound a long time, but the advanced, you've got about 20, 21 or 22 questions, and they're quite heavily loaded, those questions, whereas the other foundation, for example, is probably one-liner questions but asking you to do a task. So they really do suit what they are. So, and you'll find that when you go into the folders that we've given you for practice, they will be exactly the same sort of format that you will be doing your testing. So IT security, for example, is a multiple choice test. So the practice papers that we've given you are multiple choice. When you come to do, for example, Word, Excel, PowerPoint or Access, if you're doing the foundation, then they are actually live applications coming into the test. So you can actually just work on them in exactly the same way as you would work on a computer desktop, just sitting there doing it. And they will have the sort of the materials that go with those. So you'll be doing like a paper or doing all the tests through a paper to make sure that you've assimilated those. So hopefully that's enough to give you an idea of what we do at Coventry University. Please do make inquiries if you are interested. It's good value for what it is, what we do, and we are really good at supporting you. We'll support by email, by Teams, and it's quite straightforward. A lot of the time we can just sort something out in a matter of seconds. But everything also has solutions and videos where we can help so that you can be an independent learner. So let me know if you need any information or you want anything further. We'll be happy to help. Myself and Kafilat take care of the front end of things, so please just drop us a line and we can sort things out. So take care. I hope you've enjoyed this, and it's up to you if you really want to come along and do some of these qualifications. Okay, thank you. Thanks for listening. Bye bye.